Just a couple more issues on the game. Obviously, head knocks. Like, do you think it's a like we sound like we're old ass guys, but do you love the little change and how much it can affect the game? But also, like when they touch your head, sin bins and the stuff that comes with it. Where's your mind on that?
Yeah, I think we've always seen like the changes happen and affect the game. Like even before this, remember like there used to be like when you couldn't touch
chicken wings. Or
but like remember we like used to be able to it used to be a free for all kickers. Like you could hit them and do whatever. Like and then it actually changed a fair bit, and that there was a crackdown for a while. So the crackdowns always affect the game for a bit. I think it's been like for this year with the sin bins with the hip drops and that. I reckon it's actually come back a bit and it's sort of mellowed out a little, leveled out a little bit. But the concussion stuff is just the space we live in now. Like there's just so much research into it. Like you need to take care of the players. You need to take the decision out of their hands
because everyone's staying
you
on.
You need to protect them. Like we need to protect us from ourselves because ultimately, like I talk about being that competitor and that guy. Like you don't want to let yourself down. You don't want to let your teammates down. Like if it's a 50-50, and even like again we talk about like the players carry injuries all the time, right? You're very rarely throughout the year 100%. Yeah. So if you're 85%, 90% fit,
that's a win.
But like we call that 100% fit. Like that's just how we are. Like haven't been able to run that well this week. My ankle's a bit sore, but come game day, I'll be like, I can get through it. It's not 100%. It's like 85, 90%. So you may as well call 85% 100%. So if you have a head knock, right, and you haven't got these protocols in place, and you're feeling good towards the back end of the week, but it's only 7 days, but you're not quite there. If you had the option, 85%'s 100%. Like, I'm good. Like, so I think these decisions are good. Like, and longer term, we're going to get more research, have an opportunity to look at the research and understand the data. Because I've been through my own issues with the head knocks. I ended up sitting 6 months out just because I wasn't worried about how I felt, because I always passed the test and felt fine, right? I felt sweet. I was more worried about what would happen, like what other people would do. Like, would they make me retire? Or would they make me have this time out? Because, at that stage, Friendy had retired, Bordeaux retired. I was on the back of that. I was like, well, will the game step in or the club step in and make me retire? So I just went, I'm going to hit the ripcord, have an extended period off just to give myself a chance to prolong my career. Not because I was worried about repercussions, but I was worried about the pressure that the club might receive from the game, or the game I might receive from the game because of the head knocks. So it's such a hard subject because it's so subjective, right? Only you know as an individual, only I know, only he knows. Everyone's different. Every concussion is different.
Like we were Nigel Plum, he retired. we played with him, bro. But it got to a point, bro. You'd like tap him on the shoulder, like he'd be like pushing through a line and no contact, and you just get in front of him, bro. I hit him like just at the right point, boom, knocked out. It was fucking scary, eh? And you'd have chats with him, and you couldn't remember like conversations that you'd had from last week.
Well, that was my worry after I had my third one.
Because you're a smart dude, bro. You don't want to lose the IQ.
No, not so much that, but because I thought the third one, so the first one that year was a proper just head in the wrong spot, caught a guy stepping across my hip, out before he hit me. And actually, I got up and kept playing, but I was 100% concussed. Moyes was talking to me and I was nowhere. Like, he was like, mate, you were gone. The second one was similar. It was I went up on the inside and got a hip from...
hips are the worst.
A hip again on the out, and I was out that time, and again I was rattled. And the third one, I came across bodies, and I thought it was a big collision. But once I watched the replay, it wasn't that big a collision at all. Okay. So in my head, I was like, maybe I've lost my jaw. Like, you can see it when boxers lose their jaw. I was like, maybe I've lost my jaw. And then that's when I was and ahhing what I was going to do for the rest of the year. So I decided to have that period off. But even coming back, I had the doubts, like, maybe I've lost my jaw. Maybe it doesn't take me that much for it to happen no more because I've had them in the past. And, fortunately for me, touch wood, it hasn't happened since. But that was one of the worries for me, because that sort of is a big issue, right, when they're getting...
It was almost like how Kalen's one was happening this year, wasn't it?
It looks like it's just way easier...
Than it should be.
Or what it's been in the past. And I actually worried for a bit. I said, maybe I've lost my chin and I need to give it away. But then, once you get back into the contact and training, you cop, innocuous knocks all the time and you feel fine. I was like, okay, well, I'm sweet.
Yeah.
But it's a hard one, man. And again, it's so subjective. Everyone's different. I think these protocols are a good start. to give everyone enough
a base, like a really solid baseline.
Yeah, like an opportunity for all the data and the research to keep being developed, and hopefully some better procedures to get through it.
Yeah, I understand all that sort of medical side of it. It's really important, but like, say someone like Flegler getting sin binned in Origin, like I just don't want. I just like imagine you guys are in the GF and the first weekend of October and something like that happens.
Yeah, that was. I don't think anyone in.
Yeah, so that's just like
that's where it needs to be. I think we have these teething issues, and like that for sure shouldn't have been a sin bin. And we've seen a lot of issues that shouldn't be sin bins or penalties, and they do. But there needs to be a level out where we can sort of go, well, okay, that's definitely a sin bin, and come on, man, that's not a sin bin.